government confident in economic targets after diesel subsidy move. NRES first governing body joining MAG corporate carbon program. Good evening and Salam Malaysia Madani. You're watching Malaysia Tonight. I am Olivia Nicholas. The government is confident that Malaysia will still achieve its official inflation rate and economic growth forecast for this year, even with the implementation of the targeted diesel subsidy program. According to Second Finance Minister Dato Sri Amir Hamzah Azizan, the government is targeting headline inflation of 2 to 3.5% and gross domestic product growth of 4 to 5% this year. He said the approach taken in targeted diesel subsidy is by providing subsidized diesel to the logistics sector and monthly cash assistance to individuals to reduce the pressure on consumer goods prices and impact on the people.
Keputusan melaksanakan penyasaran semula subsidi diesel bukanlah satu langkah yang mudah diambil. Kerajaan tidak terburu-buru, malah sentiasa memberi perhatian khusus untuk memastikan mekanisme terbaik digunakan untuk melindungi sektor perniagaan dan rakyat yang layak dibantu.
However, he said the government still bears up to 10 billion ringgit for diesel subsidies despite saving 4 billion ringgit a year as a result of the measure. On a related note, diesel sales at petrol stations have decreased by 30% within the first week of the government rationalising the fuel subsidy on the 10th of June. Dato Sri Amir Hamzah said this was equivalent to a decrease of 8 million litres a day compared with the previous week. He said within the same period, the commercial sale of diesel fuel purchased by companies at the unsubsidized market price had increased by 4 million litres. He said this indicated that some companies that should have purchased diesel at market prices had previously bought subsidized retail diesel.
Ini bermakna trend peningkatan jualan diesel komersial menggambarkan tanda positif bahawa ketirisan diesel bersubsidi telah berkurang.
Dato Sri Amir Hamzah said the amount of subsidized diesel use has surged by approximately 80% from 6.1 billion litres in 2019 to 10.8 billion litres last year, despite no significant increase in new diesel vehicles during the same period. He added during this period, the sales volume of unsubsidized commercial diesel had decreased by 2 billion litres. Deputy Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Minister Fuzia Saleh has assured that despite the targeted diesel subsidies implementation on the 10th of June, prices of goods remain under control. Speaking in Parliament today, she said prior to the subsidy rollout, pre-enforcement operations gathered prices of 1,772 goods for comparison. She said as of yesterday, inspections at 2,790 premises led to 210 notices issued and 7 investigation papers opened due to initial price increases, which were quickly addressed.
Kita dapati bahawa pada beberapa hari yang pertama ada pihak mengambil kesempatan yang berhormat Serian Tan Sri Tua, tapi selepas kita mengeluarkan notis, kita panggil mereka, kita bagi notis, kita minta mereka jawab kenapa ada harga naik, sebab kita dah ada data awal tadi, kita dapati data kita yang terkini kita dapati bahawa agak keadaan terkawal. Ya, yang nak ambil kesempatan itu mungkin berfikir banyak kali lah. Kalau sebelum itu mereka ingat mereka boleh ambil kesempatan, tapi selepas notis dikeluarkan, selepas kes siasatan kita buat, selepas kita panggil ke pejabat syarikat-syarikat yang kita rasa tidak wajar mengeluarkan notis kenaikan harga perkhidmatan ataupun harga barang, kita lihat bahawa keadaan lebih terkawal.
Fuzia said this in response to a supplementary question from Dato Sri Richard Riot Jaim. Dato Sri Richard inquired about the measures in place by the ministry to ensure that prices of goods do not increase despite the implementation of the targeted diesel subsidy. The Eastern Zone Madani Rakyat 2024 program covering Pahang, Terengganu and Kelantan will be held at Dataran Sayangi, Kuantan in Pahang for 3 days starting the 5th of July. The program is organised by the Prime Minister's Office through the Performance Acceleration and Coordination Unit in strategic collaboration with the Rural and Regional Development Ministry and the Pahang State Government. The Madani Rakyat Program Secretariat said the program is a continuation of the Madani government one-year anniversary program held at the National Stadium Bukit Jalil in December last year. The program is extended to the state level by zones to provide opportunities for local communities to understand, observe and evaluate the new policies implemented by the Madani government to enhance the well-being of the people. The Eastern Zone Madani Rakyat Program focuses on activities related to public welfare, unity, agenda, technical and vocational education and training, career, carnivals, tourism, agriculture and food security, as well as exhibitions and services related to science, technology, engineering and mathematics education and artificial intelligence. There will also be Madani sales program with discounts and special offers. The government is in the process of identifying the masterminds and traitors among Malaysians who are supporting and helping the Sulu Group in making claims over Sabah. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Law and Institutional Reform, Dato Seri Azalina Othman Said, said the government has received information indicating that these individuals are the instigators and informants for the group.
Yang kita sedang dalam proses yang saya tidak dapat memberikan strategi sebenarnya adalah kita tahu adanya dalang dan adanya pendahaka daripada rakyat Malaysia yang menyokong dan membantu tuntutan mereka. Inilah sebenarnya yang akan kita lakukan sebab bagi luar negara itu proses rayuan yang berpaksi kepada keputusan Dr. Setampah punya keputusan Timbang Tara itu kita akan selesaikan.
Commenting on the government's concrete plans to stop the group from making more claims on Sabah, she agreed in principle that the issue must be addressed, but at the same time respecting the ongoing legal process. She said the country must adopt various strategies to tackle the matter, adding that the government wants to sue those found to have undermined Malaysia and make sure that they compensate it for the cost incurred. The Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, has blocked 549 pornographic and 69 prostitution websites from the January to the 1st of June this year. Speaking in Parliament today, Deputy Communications Minister Teo Ni Cheng said during the same period, MCMC, in collaboration with social media platform providers, removed 308 pornographic items and 838 prostitution-related contents from various platforms, including X and Telegram.
Bagi tindakan pengguatkuasaan pula, sebanyak 7 kes masih di bawah siasatan MCMC yang melibatkan kandungan lucah. Tindakan ini akan diteruskan oleh MCMC dari semasa ke semasa berdasarkan pemantauan dan aduan yang diterima daripada pihak berkuasa ataupun orang awam.
Teo said that engagement sessions with platform providers are actively conducted to strengthen commitment and cooperation to ensure the effectiveness of initiatives to monitor and control harmful content on the platforms. Additionally, she said Communications Minister Fahmi Fadil would meet all social media platform providers next month to discuss the matter. Still ahead in our business segment, export recovery to shape Asia's Pacific's growth. The Natural Resources and Environmental Sustainability Ministry has become the first government body to participate in Malaysia Aviation Group MAG Corporate Carbon Program. Minister Nik Ahmad said the move was part of the ministry's commitment to offset its greenhouse gas emission from official travel. Believing in leading by example, Nik Nazmi said this approach is one of the many ways to promote sustainability and inspire others to promote it as well.
We will bring this up to cabinet. We have a decarbonisation committee that I'm chairing, and we will see how we can make this. At least if we can't do it at every ministry, I'm being very realistic. But if we can get a few ministries that are critical towards decarbonisation and the green journey to also adopt this.
The MAG Corporate Carbon Program was launched last March in partnership with Petronas Dagangan Berhad to establish a commercial-scale sustainable aviation fuel production facility. Nik Nazmi said it demonstrates Malaysia's commitment to reducing carbon emissions and position the country as a leader in sustainable aviation practices regionally and globally. He added MAG's effort also supported the country's aspirations to achieve net zero carbon emissions by 2050. Export recovery and impact from elevated interest rates as well as inflation will continue to shape Asia-Pacific's growth across the economies this year. S&P Global Ratings said the export recovery, which was initially visible in Northeast Asian semiconductor shipments, has expanded to other sectors and economies. The credit rating agency said export volumes are on the rise sequentially in China and several Southeast Asian countries. It expects global demand growth to increase materially this year in part of an end to destocking in major economies. S&P Global Ratings also said the increase in exports will lead to higher gross domestic product (GDP) growth in Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore, South Korea, Taiwan, Thailand and Vietnam this year. It noted that other economies should also benefit from stronger exports. However, it expects Japan's GDP growth to slow down this year as elevated inflation affects real incomes and consumption, while in Australia, restrictive interest rates are set to put a damper on its GDP growth. Nonetheless, their resilient labour market would help to ease strains on growth. Meanwhile, the prospect of higher for longer US policy rates means less monetary policy, easing in Asia-Pacific, thus weighing on domestic demand. Bank Negara Malaysia's BNM International Reserves rose to $114.1 billion as at 14th of June from the $113.6 billion as at 31st of May. The central bank said the reserves position was sufficient to finance 5.5 months of imports of goods and services and was 1.0 times the total short-term external debt. The main components of the reserves were foreign currency reserves, followed by International Monetary Fund reserves, special drawing rights, gold and other reserve assets. Total assets stood at 644.62 billion ringgit, comprising gold and foreign exchange and other reserves, including special drawing rights, Malaysian government papers, deposits with financial institutions, loans and advances, as well as land and buildings. BNM said capital and liabilities comprised paid-up capital, reserves, currency in circulation, deposits by financial institutions, federal government deposits and other deposits, Bank Negara papers, allocation of special drawing rights and other liabilities. Meanwhile, Bank Negara Malaysia (BNM) has updated the Financial Consumer Alert (FCA) list to include 6 new entities that are neither authorized nor approved by the central bank. The 6 new entities are Emma Markets, HF Markets and HF Markets SV, Proprietary Limited, Ava Partner and Ava Trade, Just Markets, Etoro Investment and iInvestment 254. BNM stated that it has also updated information related to Najmuddin Exchanger, FBS Malaysia and MIDF investment scheme in the FCA list. It explained that the list is not exhaustive and will be updated regularly. On its official website, BNM said the FCA list is a guide to enhance awareness of entities or schemes which may have been wrongly perceived or represented as being licensed or regulated by the central bank. The list is updated based on information received by BNM from members of the public after conducting necessary assessments on the reported entities and schemes. Consumers may refer to the list as one of several ways to check if an entity or a scheme has been identified as one that has not been authorized by BNM to offer financial products or services that are regulated by the central bank. Local institutions returned to net buying last week, snapping up 274 million ringgit worth of equities after 2 consecutive weeks of net selling. MIDF research said local institutions net bought 57.5 million ringgit on Tuesday, 66.9 million ringgit on Wednesday, and 177.5 million ringgit on Friday, and only net sold 27.9 million ringgit on Thursday. Similarly, local retailers also net bought last week at 167.1 million ringgit after net selling for 2 straight weeks. They only net sold 1.7 million ringgit on Friday and net bought for the rest of the week. Conversely, after 2 consecutive weeks of net inflows, foreign funds left Bursa Malaysia last week at a rate of 441.1 million ringgit compared with net purchases totaling 202.4 million ringgit in the previous week. MIDF research said foreign investors net sold every day in the shortened trading week in conjunction with the Hari Raya Adil Adha holiday on Monday. According to the weekly fund flow report, sectors which recorded the highest net foreign inflows last week were industrial products and services, technology and transportation, and logistics. Meanwhile, sectors with the highest net foreign outflows were financial services, healthcare, and plantation. Small Medium Enterprise Development Bank Malaysia Berhad SME Bank has partnered with the School of Business of the University of Applied Sciences and Arts Northwestern Switzerland for the SME Bank Sandbox Swiss Innovation Challenge 2024. This challenge invites startups, SMEs and tertiary students to submit innovative business ideas with significant environmental, social and economic impact. The challenge offers an opportunity to receive a total cash prize of 110,000 ringgit as well as the chance to represent Malaysia at the Swiss Innovation Challenge 2024 international pitch in October. Supported by institutions such as the Centre for Entrepreneur Development and Research, Sdn Berhad, University Malaysia Kelantan and Putra Business School, the challenge will also offer practical knowledge and skill enhancement through experienced coaches and entrepreneurs. It will also raise awareness and advocate for environmental, social and governance adoption among MSMEs that pioneers business concepts aligned with relevant United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The SME Bank Sandbox Swiss Innovation Challenge is now accepting submissions from today to the 26th of July. Batik Air signed a Memorandum of Understanding MOU with South Korean automobile manufacturer KIA on its new private terminal transfer service designed exclusively for business class passengers. In partnership with KIA, Batik Air aims to provide its business class passengers with a comfortable and eco-friendly transfer option. The airline said it will enhance the travel experience for both business class promo and flexi passengers by offering a seamless and premium transfer between the main terminal building and the satellite building of KLIA Terminal 1. Batik Air Chief Executive Officer Datuk Chandran Ramamuthi said the airline is delighted to join forces with KIA, a leader in sustainable automotive solutions, to offer this exceptional service to its business class passengers. Meanwhile, KIA Asia Pacific President and Chief Executive Officer Kevin An said the partnership with Batik Air aligned with KIA's corporate vision of plans and the commitment to achieve carbon neutrality by 2045. Transport Minister Anthony Lok was also present at the MOU signing today. RHB Investment Bank Berhad RHBIB has revised its total industry volume TIF forecast for this year, increasing it by 18% to 740,000 units from the previous estimate of 625,000 units. The research firm attributed their revision to stronger than expected TIV performance so far, driven by robust Peru door sales. RHBIB revised its 2024 Perodua sales assumption to 330,000 units from 250,000 units. It noted that it revised TIB forecast aligns with the Malaysian Automotive Association's MAA estimate. The MAA had earlier forecasted a 7.5% decline in new motor vehicle sales for this year following record sales of 799,731 units in 2023. In May, the TIB reached 68,665 units, marking an 8.7% year-on-year increase and an 18.4% month-on-month increase, bringing the total for the first 5 months of 2024 to 328,901 units. RHBIB explained that the stronger performance was expected coming from a low base in April due to Aidilfitri festivities. Sales volumes from major marques picked up, with Perodua and Toyota Lexus showing month-on-month growth of 34.7% and 5.2% respectively, while Proton and Honda saw declines of 8% and 2.5%. A total of 15 million ringgit has been allocated to upgrade and develop tourism facilities under the Ipoh Heritage Tourism IHT project. The first package of the project, which involved the development of Ipoh Padang and Kintario Walk, which cost 4 million ringgit, was completed on the 8th of March 2022. The second package, worth 11 million ringgit, involved the upgrading work of Ipoh Town Hall and Old Post Office buildings, which were completed on the 20th of May this year. State Housing and Local Government Committee Chairman Sandria Ng Shai Ching said the projects aim to upgrade tourist facilities in the heritage tourism focus area in Ipoh Old Town.
Dengan kapasiti lebih daripada 500 orang penonton, kita dah siap sedia untuk menerima dan kita alu-alukan pelbagai program aktiviti, konsert, muzik dan juga kebudayaan yang boleh diadakan di Ipoh.
Sandria Ng said this to reporters after witnessing the handing over of the Ipoh Town Hall building and the Old Post Office keys to Ipoh City Council today. At the ceremony, Perak and Pulau Pinang Northern Corridor Implementation Authority NCIA Regional Head Fauzan Ismail handed over the keys to Ipoh Mayor Datuk Rumaizi Baharin. The implementation of the IHT project was funded and implemented by the NCIA. It involves the conservation, rehabilitation and upgrading of the Ipoh Town Hall building as an art performance centre, as well as the conservation, rehabilitation and upgrading of the Old Post Office building as a gallery of art and digital works. Coming up in our foreign segment, at least 22 dead in South Korea battery plant fire. Malaysia will continue to support any effort to end the atrocities against the Palestinians, calling for an immediate stop to the killing of the people in that country. In this regard, Foreign Minister Datuk Seri Mohamad Hassan said Malaysia supports the proposal but put forward by the United States on the 10th of June to support a ceasefire plan in Gaza. Datuk Seri Mohamad Hassan said what is important now is to stop the killings because every day people are being killed in Gaza.
Kita amat gembira tu Tan Sri Ketua kerana selalunya jika Amerika membuat usul di Majlis Bangsa-Bangsa Bersatu ataupun di Majlis Keselamatan, yang lain tak akan menyokong. Tapi pada kali ini 14 menyokong, termasuklah yang bukan anggota tetap, 1 berkecuali, pihak Rusia berkecuali itu. Dan sekarang ini kita nak lihat cara mana Tan Sri Yang Pertua untuk kita pastikan bahawa kekejaman pembunuhan terhadap rakyat Palestin ini dihentikan.
At least 22 people were killed, including 18 Chinese nationals, in a massive fire at a South Korean lithium battery factory, one of the country's worst factory disasters in years. Over 100 people were working in the factory when workers heard a series of explosions from the second floor where lithium-ion batteries are inspected and packaged. Some 78 people were confirmed safe, but many more were still missing. South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol issued emergency instructions to authorities, telling them to mobilize all available personnel and equipment to focus on searching and rescuing the people. Firefighter Kim Jong-yong said they had managed to put out the largest fire at the factory and were pulling bodies out of the charred building. The vast factory had an estimated 35,000 battery cells on the second floor in storage, with more batteries stored in other areas. Lithium batteries burn hot and fast and are difficult to control with conventional fire extinguishing methods. The lithium battery plant is owned by Aricel, a South Korean primary battery manufacturer. It is located in Hwaseong city just south of the capital, Seoul. South Korea is a major producer of batteries, including those used in electric vehicles. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi appealed to an emboldened opposition for consensus as Parliament opened following an election setback that forced him into a coalition government for the first time in a decade. Expected in the first session, which will run until the 3rd of July, is a preview of Modi's plans for his third term and the likely formal appointment of Rahul Gandhi as leader of the opposition, a post vacant since 2014. Modi's first 2 terms in office followed landslide wins for his right-wing Bharatiya Janata Party, allowing his government to drive laws to Parliament with only cursory debate. But now analysts expect the 73-year-old Modi to moderate his Hindu nationalist agenda to assuage his coalition partners, focusing more on infrastructure, social welfare and economic reforms.
कि आपने हमें जो तीसरी बार मौका दिया है, 2 बार सरकार चलाने का अनुभव हमारे साथ जुड़ा है। मैं देशवासियों को आज विश्वास दिलाता हूं कि हमारे तीसरे कार्यकाल में हम पहले से 3 गुना ज्यादा मेहनत करेंगे।
Modi has kept key posts unchanged in his government and the cabinet remains dominated by the Bharatiya Janata Party. Gunmen opened fire at a synagogue, an Orthodox church and a police post in attacks across 2 cities in Russia's North Caucasus, a region of Dagestan, killing at least 19 people, including an Orthodox priest and multiple police officers. Governor of the Dagestan region, Sergei Malikov, said more than 15 police officers fell victim to what he said was a terrorist attack, but he did not specify how many of the police were killed and how many were injured. Malikov said that among the dead, in addition to the police officers, were several civilians, including an Orthodox priest who worked in Derbent for more than 40 years. There was no immediate claim of responsibility for the attacks in the volatile North Caucasus region. 6 of the gunmen were shot and killed as the incidents unfolded. Malikov said 24th to the 26th of June have been declared days of mourning in Dagestan, with flags lowered to half-staff and all entertainment events cancelled. The simultaneous attacks across the cities of Makhachkala and Derbent came 3 months after 145 people were killed in an attack claimed by Daesh group on a concert hall near Moscow, Russia's worst terrorist attack in years. That concludes this evening's Malaysia Tonight. In our top story, government confident in economic targets after diesel subsidy move. Do tune in to World Today, coming up tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. on TV2. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. I'm Olivia Nicholas. Thanks for watching.